It is day 6 of the Switch Sports Golf 18 Birdies Challenge. I'm playing 18 holes of standard Switch Sports Golf from the lobby, so we have random conditions and hopefully random pins. I hope I'm doing this right in terms of doing random pins, because I haven't been finishing the 18s once I miss them, but it seems like it does re-randomize them every time. Yeah, at least the wins are completely different. And these look like different pins, too. I don't think that's a pin that we've had. Yeah. So we had different pins. I missed a day in real time because I was playing 36 holes of tournament-style golf yesterday with some of the top players in the game. I posted a much more edited-down summary of the first round of that, where I set a personal best. I shot 23 under. However, in terms of this challenge, I also parred hole 17. So I didn't even get the 18 birdies challenge when I played my best round to date. This one I won't edit down though, so you can tell there's no funny business. We'll just send this one out there. I adjusted a tick or two to the right to account for, that's not even going to matter, to account for the slope of the green, and I'll blast it 30 feet by anyway.
Nice on.
That was a really good estimate. 30 feet on the dot, before that even popped up. Fortunately, this is an easier putt. It's kind of funny sometimes how sometimes I can dunk this hole, like I've done a couple times on this challenge, and sometimes I leave myself with an adventure. But fortunately, the green is very flat. We'll take a birdie. No issues. As of now, that felt a little scary at first. You can't par hole 1. We'll move on to hole 2, though. We have that middle pin with some 6-mile-an-hour wind. I'm going to want to adjust this, I'm going to say to about there. Give this a shot with the spoon. Roll it up there. One last little tick of adjustment. Let's see if that throws me off. Felt good in terms of power. Are we going to get the rollout? Are we going to get there? We're going to be just short.
Nice.
Okay, so I underpowered that with the wind pushing us forward just slightly. And I just overcompensated a little bit too much. But we'll tap in for birdie.
Nice birdie.
No style points through the first 2 holes. But we've had that a couple times. Let's try to get some style points on some other holes. You know what? Let's just try to get past some of the other holes. A lot of these have ended on hole 6, which is kind of the first tougher one. And for whatever reason, it's been giving me some trouble.
Nice shot.
In this 18 birdies challenge. So we'll try to make it to the back 9 today, but we won't get ahead of ourselves. Let's focus on hole 3 here. Send it out to the fairway. Depending on the pin spot, I may want to curve this next shot through the trees. Let's see. If we have that front pin only, and we do. So let's curve it through the trees. I will adjust that way, reset my controller, and then when I do my normal swing, should give me a little bit of curve. Oh,
Nice
or
shot.
nothing. Now, fortunately, I adjusted little enough that didn't cause me to clip that tree on the left. And actually, this will be a fine little chip from here. So I adjusted just a tick or two to the right to account for the slope of the green, because that wind is going to push it anyway. Okay, we'll just roll by it. But not a bad putt. Pretty straight putt down that hill from 12 feet or so. Let's just not think about this one too much. Give it some good power. And hit it dead center. 3 for 3 on birdies. It would be fun to set a new personal best if I were to get all of these holes under par. But so far, we're not quite on pace for it. Usually you want to pick up one of these on the first couple holes, because those are the easier ones. What do we want to do here? I think this is the one where we had that hole-in-one. Almost identical conditions. Maybe exactly identical conditions.
Nice shot.
Are we going to do it again? That looks like it's about on the same type of line. That's just not going to come back, though. Sometimes that back mound on this green just catches it and it glides to a stop instead of biting and rolling back. But this is not too bad of a putt, which is something that I keep saying and then missing them on these challenges, but I shouldn't have to aim outside the hole Let's roll it down there. Roughly dead center. Hole 4, which usually isn't too scary, but it's given me, I mean, I lost one of the challenges on this one. Was that yesterday? Was it hole 6 yesterday? Or not yesterday, but 2 days ago? I forget. We're just going to keep rolling. We're just going to keep rolling. Send this one to... Whoa. Little power glitch on the backswing there. Luckily, I was able to...
Nice shot.
Luckily, I was able to stop the swing, let go of the button when I saw that. It's kind of like when somebody yells at a golfer in their backswing and they kind of have to step off to the side. Sometimes, I mean, the Joy-Cons are very good in terms of like precision in this game, but sometimes they do something a little wonky. We saw that there. But no issue. We got some nice tailwind that can help us make this next shot real close to the green. Will we get up there? I actually don't know. Yeah, we'll be just short of it. But we'll have a very straightforward chip and a shot at an eagle here. Yeah, actually, I may want to just not adjust this at all because the wind is going to push it a little bit to the left. And it looks like the bounce should be just slightly right. So this should just be dead aim. Obviously, if I do it right. Hopefully that gets there. Oh, and we're just a little short. That looked like it was on line to be right of the hole. But if I hit that with a bit more power, I think that could have dunked.
Nice birdie.
I was considering going 9-iron, because the 9-iron will roll out a lot more. But the rollout's sometimes scary. Sometimes you end up way past the hole. Using the wedge leaves you safely by it. But if you land just short of it, you're going to end up just short of it oftentimes. And we keep getting this darn front left pin location. I am so tired of seeing that. This front left is just absolutely brutal to deal with. But I mean, we just have to play the tree strat. And, okay. Another little power glitch. Maybe I need to think about getting some new Joy-Cons. If I go back 10 seconds, I should hopefully see that the power just jumped on me at the end. And that I'm not just bad at this game. I'm going to have to take a look at the replay there. I'm actually going to backspin this one with a 3-iron. And hopefully the wind will push it enough if that works. It's kind of a guess. But what a better time to try a new strategy than right now. So I think that'll get down there. And I think that should have a good bounce. And hopefully come back. Okay. That's going to leave me with a nice little putt. That worked out nicely. So a red bar on the drive from a weird little thing that happened with the controller. And now we have probably the easiest putt we've dealt with on hole 6. And we'll sink it. No problem. Dead center. We get past hole 6 today. That feels good. Ooh, 6 birdies though. So not pushing under par too far. And now we're getting to the more difficult section of the 9. Although this one with some light wind is a very straightforward hole. Yeah, we can just send that out there to the end of that first fairway. And I'm thinking I may want to use the spoon. And do I want to adjust this at all? I think I will have to. Maybe just a tick or two to the left. That's going to roll. And I want to do just under 3 dots of power. Just maybe a couple pixels short of where on the mini-map it looks like the start of the island would be on the power meter. So right about there feels right. And with the spoon, that should land softly in the rough, bounce roughly forward, and maybe have a shot at rolling out and in. Oh, we'll miss it by a couple of inches.
Nice approach.
That adjustment is so precise. Like, it's just a couple ticks to the left, I think. Yeah. For that pin in particular.
Nice
The back pin, I'm trying to think if you have to play it slightly differently, but we're not going to worry about that. Hole 7, tap in birdie. Almost a fun eagle. Imagine if I eagled none of them and then just started eagling, like, on these back ones. Oh, okay, and we have the tougher pin, or the tougher, yeah, pin spot for this hole, but accessible with this wind. I want to hit this, I'm going to say, do I want to bounce this out? I actually don't know what the proper play would feel like here. I kind of want to bounce this to the back of the green. So no backspin. A little bit shorter on the power meter than you might often see. And hopefully that'll just bounce to the right. We're going to end up in the back of the green and maybe even on the fringe. Oh boy. I made that one tough. I really need to take some extra power off of that one. Now we'll just have to send a putt at this one. Make sure we get it up that hill. Oh! Oh, and we'll sink it. I didn't want to think too hard about that one. I kind of just aimed left and blasted it and just hoped that I could catch that pin, because that was going to be either a really precise putt or a really lucky putt. And I went for the second option. And now we have some light wind on hole 9, so we should, I mean, knock on wood, be able to get to the back 9 no problem today. That's just a straightforward drive. It should kick left off that fairway a little and land us nicely in a spot where we can just slap the next shot under that tree. So we'll take the driver again. We're not going for this green in 2 with this wind, unfortunately, so the personal best aspect of this round may be lost. But that's often just because of conditions. This hole is sometimes eagleable, or, you know, you could get an albatross if you have the right wind, and you can go for it in 2. But not in the cards for this round, and I actually don't think we've had those conditions at all through this challenge. Okay, so we want to make sure we don't leave this one too far away from the hole, because this is a tricky green. I want to go just over 3 dots of power. Landed a little short. It should kick left. Oh, and hit the pin. Ooh, that's a little unfortunate, but that's actually going to end up in a spot where that's not too bad of a putt. I was hoping that would hit the, or go around the pin and then roll back, and then we'd end up like a diagonal square, like if this is a chessboard, like 2 squares diagonal left of where I am, and that would be a perfectly straight putt. That's like the ideal spot. And that's where I thought we might end up, but we backboarded off the pin. And we'll sink a scary little putt to make it through the front 9 with pure birdies. Last time we made it this far, it was also pure birdies up until hole 14. Let's see if we can get some eagles on the back 9, though. I mean, this is a chance. We've got 2-mile-an-hour winds pushing us. Slightly tailwind and slightly to the left, but with 2 miles an hour, it's roughly the same as 0. Just maybe an annoying slight adjustment that oftentimes puts you right on the edge of the hole, as opposed to 0 wind. Okay, I think that club feels right, and we should bounce a little to the left on this green anyway. So just a couple ticks of adjustment. We'll hit this about 3.5 power. See if we can get some rollout.
Nice shot.
Is that going to be good? Ooh, that looks good. That looks like it has a chance. And we burn the edge again. I think that's the 3rd time that we've been right on the edge of the hole, and the trail of the putt doesn't lip out, but there's like no green between the trail and the hole. But that just means we're really close. We're hitting some really good shots. Even though they're not falling, they're good shots. And for the nature of this challenge, we'll take that. Okay, we have 9-mile-an-hour winds, that front left pin spot. Nothing too extreme there. Let's just hit this with enough power to get it there. Hopefully land it just short of the pin. Catapult it to the back of the green. Oh, that felt like it was underpowered, but that might be okay. Yeah, we'll catch the fringe. And we'll get a bit of rollout, but it's not going to make it all the way back to the hole. Despite doing that wrong, that had the line, if it had more backspin, to end up in the hole. But that would have been just, you know, pure luck. So we'll take a birdie there. All birdies through 11. 11 under through 11. Let's move on to hole 12, which is a real eagle chance every single time in these play locally conditions. Not always an eagle chance when you play online and you can have any wins. But for our purposes here, when I'm just playing by myself, you can always put it on that island. And now we'll have... I want to say let's use the spoon here. And we can aim this a bit more, because this is way downhill, so we want to put more adjustment on the directional aim. Somewhere in the bunker, in terms of the mini-map power meter, is usually a good spot to kind of gauge where you want to hit for power. Since we have wind in our face, I'm going to go probably right in the middle of the bunker, so call that like 3.4 dots of power.
Nice
That should
shot.
hopefully carry the bunker no problem. Land hopefully just short of the green. Yeah, we'll hit the fairway, bounce way up in the air, and dunk it
Check.
for an albatross. Okay, that's the first albatross we've had on this 18 birdies challenge on hole 12. That's a fun one. Hole 12 is always like, it should be an eagle almost every time, but sometimes you can get lucky, and even with some 6-mile-an-hour winds, we'll dunk it in. Very nice. So that puts us a lot more under par, a -3 on the scorecard after a whole bunch of -1s. And we'll move on to hole 13 feeling confident. 4-mile-an-hour winds, no issues there. We'll adjust a little and just give this one a run. So with the 5-iron, you don't want to, you don't want to power that much. But that will hopefully be, oh no. Oh, I really overpowered that. I went for the backspin, and you can see I tried to do like 3.1 dots of power and ended up with about 3.4. And fortunately, this isn't the worst chip in the world to try to make, but there's no reason to be chipping on this hole, really. So let's get lucky. See if we can roll that one up, and oh, okay, that saves the round. A little almost 360 lip in for birdie from somewhere we really shouldn't have been. So let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's put that one behind us. I said I was feeling confident going into that one, and that just brought me right back to earth. Okay. Hole 14. Often another eagleable hole most of the time. But with this wind, you know what? With this wind, I am actually going to take the very safe route, because it's going to be pushing us forward anyway, and we have, if you look at that mini-map, the pin is in a spot where approaching from the angle that's straight ahead isn't going to have that bunker in the way. So we're actually fine just leaving this one way out to the left. You can deal with those trees. Sometimes you can make this hole a lot easier if you blast it through the trees and get the right sort of shortcut. But with that wind, it just becomes really risky and much harder to hit your spot. And with the combo of this wind and the pin position, I feel a lot better about putting this up there with a spoon. Don't have to deal with that bunker. Or shouldn't have to deal with that bunker. I'm going to aim to land this one just short of the green. Actually, maybe even with the bunker on the power map. And that should kind of catapult
Nice shot.
off the fairway, just short of it. And hopefully the wind pushes it to a good spot. Yeah, so we'll just roll up and end up on the green with a decent spot. I mean, it's going to be hard to put it real close and real precise from way back there. But we can give ourselves an eagle putt. At first, I was really nervous because I was like, oh, I have to make this for birdie. But for this challenge, I'd like to make it because this is a very eagleable hole. But it's not necessary. Yeah, we'll sink it anyway. I don't think that counts as style points. I mean, if you play that hole right, you should be getting eagle. But we'll take it. 17 under through 14. I'm not sure if personal best is in the cards. 17 under through 14. I mean, I don't think so. It would take a lot.
Nice shot.
But birdieing every hole is definitely still in the cards. Hole 15 is kind of like a breather before we get to some real tough ones. 16 is really hit or miss, though. It really depends on the wind. Let's go up to the 7-iron. Hit this one about pin high on the power meter. Or just leave it short. Maybe we'll get lucky, though. No, we're not going to get lucky. We're just going to leave that one about 9 feet away. 10 feet away. I got too confident with my guesses. So 10 feet to go. Little left to right, but not much to it putt. Just got to make sure we get it there. And it'll go in on the right side of the hole, so not dead center, but a birdie nonetheless. 15 for 15. Let's move on to hole 16 and see what kind of conditions we have to deal with. These next 2 holes can sometimes make or break your entire round here. Okay, so this is not too bad. Not too bad. Let us aim about at the, like, kind of intersection of where that dark tree, that dark first tree, kind of meets the lighter green tree to the right of it. That little crease there should be a good spot to aim at. And we'll put it right through there. Avoid all those trees. Hopefully bounce just short of the fairway. And maybe, oh, I thought we might be able to catapult over it. But we'll just catch the bunker. Not bad, though. So we have a shot at an eagle with this little chip here. Tougher pin spot to really precisely get. But we should be able to just bounce it short. Let it roll. Let's see if we get lucky. Actually, okay, so we're in the bunker technically, based on the mini-map, or the power meter. But, like, visually, it looks like we're on the fairway. So I have to be careful about curving this one. Okay, no curve. And we'll bounce it. Okay, just a little bit too... Maybe too much on the adjustment, too little on the power. Some combo of that. But we'll hit this little putt. Make sure I have enough backswing to register a short little putt. Oftentimes those little ones, if you don't register enough backswing, it'll just tap it and you miss a 0.5 foot putt, which really does not feel good, especially in this challenge. Haven't had that happen yet, knock on wood. Oh, and we have some favorable wind. Oh, this feels good. This is some favorable wind on hole 17. Let us take advantage of this. This is when I really have to lock in and make sure I do right. There's always the risk where if you hit the bounce wrong, it just glides way over the back of the green, pretty much regardless of the conditions. So you really want to bounce this in the right spot.
Nice shot.
That felt good. That's about what I wanted to do for power. Hopefully that doesn't get that launch to the back. Oh, it will. I have a theory that sometimes when that happens, it's the putting physics taking over. And like it landed hard even though it came off the driver. And instead of bouncing, it just acts like it was a putt that was at a high speed. So now we have to chip this in. That felt like the right thing to do. I don't really know what I could have done about that in terms of that shot. So now we have to chip in with not much wind in the face. Maybe about that much on the power meter. It's going to kick right a bit. Are we aimed too far left? I don't think so. This feels about right. Do we get another chip in? Get lucky. No! Oh, hole 17. I mean, that's one of the tougher pins to go at. Not that there's really... I mean, there are some easier pins, especially ones that don't have that risk of that launch like we saw there.
Nice par.
That's what that's called in this game for anyone just kind of casually watching. The little launch roll. It's a glitch that's kind of accepted as just something that happens. But hole 17 gets us again. Minus 19 through 17, but 17 is just such an easy hole to get a par on. And oftentimes, it's just a little out of your hands. I mean, perhaps I could have really, really thought about that chip, but that looked about what I mean, I put it next to the hole. Not much more I could have done other than just get lucky on a sink. But we'll end the video on hole 17, and we'll catch you tomorrow, where hopefully 17 is something that we get to, and something that has a nicer pin for us, where we don't have the risk of running that launch roll. So I'll see you then.